Well, hello. This is Everett O'Keefe, and here we are with a book launch livecast for Ignite Press. I'm excited today because I bring to you a very special woman, a very special author, and she has really a phenomenal story and lesson to share. And I think one of the reasons I'm most excited about this, I think, is it's just such a timely message that so many people can benefit from. So I want to bring on Sheila Robinson, and she is the author of a terrific book that is releasing today, and that is Redefining Your Life Diet: Transform How You Look, Feel, and Perform. So here you are, Sheila. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm wonderful, Everett. Thank you so much for the invitation to be here.
I'm just grateful that you're here. I've been waiting for this interview for quite a while. I remember when we first started talking about your book, I was excited that this was going to come out. The fact, honestly, that it's coming out right now is absolutely perfect. So really excited about that. So Sheila, your book, Redefining Your Life Diet. Before we get into the book, tell us a bit about you. Like, where do you come from in this?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I am a mother, a daughter, a sister, friend, and just a lover of life. But my profession, I am a doctor of education. I did not want to confuse the readers that I'm a medical doctor. So, I'll go by Sheila Robinson, doctor of education for this. And in my profession, I develop women in talent and leadership. I support the leadership and executive development of women in corporate America. And that was one of the drivers of this work I'm doing, that the women that I work with, we take care of everyone else first and we take care of ourselves last. And through this book, I wanted my readers to understand that it's just like the flight attendant says, we have to put our mask on first, because if we put our mask on first and take care of ourselves first, we're going to be phenomenal in everything else we do.
Okay, terrific. Has this journey been an easy one?
Well, I would say it has had its challenges, its ups and downs, and life in itself is imperfect. So the journey has been imperfect, but just as in life, so rewarding, exciting, and worth it all.
Yeah. All right. So tell me a bit about this. Your the book Redefining Your Life Diet. What was your inspiration? When did you know you were going to write this book, and why?
Yeah. Well, I realized I was going to write this book. It was like an aha moment. Like, all of my life, and probably women that I know, we think that we have to go on a diet to be a healthier, better person. And what we need to realize is every time we eat something, that is our diet. You don't go on a diet, every time you eat something, that is your diet. Whether you're eating fried chicken, that's your diet. Pizza, that's your diet. Hamburgers, that's your diet. Salads or vegetables and fruit, that is your diet. And so through my journey, over my lifetime, within the last 3 years, I ran across a few things that just were an aha moment, and started watching my life transform, meaning not just my size, but how I felt, my energy levels, how I looked, and then still not size, and even better, how I performed. And I was like, I wish someone would have told me this. Why didn't someone tell me all the things that I learned much sooner than now? And I wanted to share out some of these secrets and nuggets that I found out with others. And that is why I decided to write the book.
Okay. Now, I want to remind people that the book is available today. Actually, the Kindle version is available for 99 cents on Amazon. And we'd really encourage you to pick that up. First, it's a phenomenal book, and you can read it on any platform, every phone, every tablet, every laptop, even, and of course, Kindle e-readers in all of those locations. And doing so will also really help Sheila's launch as the book ranks, as we're doing a Amazon bestseller run today. So please pick that up. So now, Sheila, the your so the book is Redefining Your Life Diet, but diet has some periods in it, right? D-I-E-T.
Mhm.
Can you explain that?
Mhm. Well, that is the acronym. So the D stands for what you drink and should not drink. The I stands for your intake. Everything you ingest, intake the food. That's focusing on your nutrition. And the E is enjoy being active. Exercise to some people is such a word that people don't want to hear. So rather is the E can be for exercise or enjoy being active. There's so many things that I do now that I enjoy, and I'm active, and I'm playing towards a healthier, happier me. And then the T is the most important one. It is your thoughts and your thinking. That is the most crucial point to changing behaviors. And that is when you start changing your behaviors from doing things the old way to a new, better way, it makes the journey so much easier.
Okay. Now, I see some comments coming in from people, and let me pull some of them up. Malia said that she had just got her copy,
Thank you.
and so she's excited about that. Leslie chatted and said, "Sage advice: put your mask on first before you help others." Yeah, right. Absolutely. So, thank you so much for that, Leslie, as well. So really in your book, what I know every author's got their favorite story, their favorite lesson, some part of their book that they're just really fired up about. What's yours?
Okay, so I had the honor of having my forward written by Dr. Michelle Robin, and she is a dear friend. She's a chiropractic wellness expert, and this is one of the nuggets that really helped me. Something so simple, and she talks about you should have an A day, a B day, and a C day. And I can remember pre success in living a happy, healthier life that every time I would think I was going on a diet and I would mess up and I would be like, oh God, I got to, I would just stop. I'd be like, okay, I tried this, I don't like it, and I would just stop. What Dr. Robbins says, we now can have an A day, a B day, or a C day. So an A day is when you do everything you're supposed to. You drank the amount of water you should have drank. You've had healthy meals. You've gotten your exercise in. Maybe you did some self-care meditation or did a nice hot bath or something. I mean, that's an A day. You really took care of yourself. A B day is, you know what? I had so much work to do, or I had to get the kids to baseball practice or whatever. I didn't get in as much water as I like to drink, but I did good. That's a B day. And a C day is, well, you know what? I may have gotten half of it in. And I've even had a D day, and a D day is I didn't get any of it. I was just bad. The beauty of that is you don't have to say, oh crap, I got to start over, or I just forget it. You just say, well, today was C day. Tomorrow I'll work towards a B day. Again, these
Mhm.
are mind behaviors and thought processes that you put in, and it makes a totally different, especially when you say, yay, I got my A day in, or today was a C day. Don't worry about it. I'm going to work towards the B day. So you are never leaving that journey or that roadmap towards a happy, healthier life. You just can say, hey, I'll do better tomorrow. And I just love that saying that Dr. Robin shared with us in the book.
I think that's a fantastic lesson because I tend to look at I tend to look at this in a very binary fashion. I'm either I'm either sticking with my diet or I'm not. Like it's just one way or the other, and
Yes.
nothing in between. And and it's funny you talked about A days, B days, C days, and I thought C days. Oh, like C days are usually travel days. The days I'm flying someplace to go to an event or meet with a client, and I see, oh, there's Panda Express in the airport, and
Yes.
it's like something like that. Definitely not getting all the water I want, and that type of thing. But I appreciate you kind of taking the pressure off with that. But like, well, you know what? That's a C day. Tomorrow we can have an A or a B day and keep going. So it's good as long as I keep my grade point average up, right?
Yes.
As long as we're getting an A average, that would be
That would
a
be
good
great.
thing. Um, what would you say? Oh, and here I've got a comment here. Let me bring this up. This is beautiful. Dr. Michelle Robin is great. Love her advice. Giving ourselves a break. We all have our way of measuring out A, B, C days. Absolutely. Oh, and she also said Leslie just ordered her copy, which is
Thank you,
fantastic.
Leslie.
Thank you, Leslie. You rock. Um, again, I've got the ticker running down here at the bottom of the screen just to remind people that they can get the Kindle version today for 99 cents. Of course, the paperback is available as well. But the Kindle purchase really helps in regards to the launch. Now, Sheila, who'd you write this for? Like, did you have a group of people in mind when you wrote this, or some people develop an avatar where they're like, I've got this one person that I focus. Who did you write it for?
Well, I really wrote it for anyone that wants to have a happy, healthier life. I'll be honest, I have the honor and pleasure of working with women and women of all races, cultures, and backgrounds. That's the beauty of diversity. You get to work with so many amazing different cultures and people with great, wonderful, inspiring, and empowering personalities. And we have one thing in common. We struggle with being stressed at work. We struggle with, taking care of our families, balancing family and work, travel. We all have that in common. And I empathize with us all, with what we have to go through and the time we have to do it. And I wrote it for these wonderful, amazing, and inspiring women in my life and in my community, who I want to share. If I can do it, you can do it. Because one thing about Sheila is I love my food. I am a foodie, okay? People would ask me what kind of restaurant you want to go to. You name it, I'm there because I do. I love my food, and sometimes it would get me in trouble. But what made me stick to this journey is not that I lost 30 pounds, because I did. I have gained some back. I'm very transparent, but I am I lost 30 pounds. I kept it off all during the pandemic. Okay. So that was a true test,
Wow.
and so I'm 3 years in the weight loss. It has not come back. So I found something that I know that works. But
Mhm.
even like I said, the weight loss was not the major thing. It was how I felt and how I began to perform in my personal and professional life. And that, I think, is what this community of women will get more value than anything. The weight loss and how we look is the icing on the cake. The real prize is how you're going to feel and how you're going to perform in your work if when you find um, uh, when you decide what you want your diet to be, a healthier living diet. I share my journey. I share my journey and some of the things that I have done, but there are so many resources out there that we need to take advantage of. We try to, and I know me personally, and some may be like me, we try to do it all ourselves and we try to say we know better. No, we don't. We live in a society that markets things to us that is going into our brain, that's quick and easy and do, that's not necessarily the journey we should be on. And so it is important that we utilize resources that are there for us. And I urge you all to remember, we unfortunately live in a our medical industry is an industry that is designed to treat us once we get sick. We have to be responsible of taking care of ourselves so we don't get sick, and that is what I mean when you go out there and utilize the resources that are going to keep you healthy and away from the doctors. It would be great if we woke up and had all of these things on the TV and this, and that, and tell us this is how you have a healthy, happy life. But they are marketing products that are, putting revenue in their organizations that are not necessarily causing us to live healthy lives.
Mm-hmm. So you're right. We're in a society that doesn't emphasize wellness very well, right? Our medical system doesn't emphasize wellness. It is more about, yeah, we're sick. Okay, here's some medicine. Here's a surgery. Here's all of that. It does definitely makes it rough. I think it's one of the things I appreciate about your book is it's very proactive, right? It's let's get in front of this and avoid some of those things, right?
Yes.
I really appreciate that. You mentioned the pandemic and what we've gone through, in the last 18 months or so. Sheila, if you don't mind, I mean, I know that you do speaking and consulting and training and all of those things. This last year must have been pretty interesting for you. I know a lot of people in a lot of my clients and have had their worlds change quite a bit professionally during this time. How's it been for you?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I do credit the fact that how I started taking care of myself got me through that, because I felt so great. I felt good. I was, the things that I did to take care of myself, I did not realize it. It made me perform at a level I thought was impossible. So I became a maximum performing leader. I performed at my best through it all. I was innovative. Believe it or not, brain health is really, really true. I was so innovative in how I reset and change things around for my organization to be able to serve our clients and customers through the avenues that we had to do it, which was mainly through digital and Zoom. We continued to, my organization surprisingly grew. And I think it was because my mindset and how I felt. And a lot of that was fear too. We it was the unknown. We didn't know what was happening. And I think by nature, humans, period, we want to jump in and put our sleeves up and help. You see people have accidents on the side of the road and people jump out and help. When there is time for us to show up, and that's Americans, humans, whatever, it doesn't matter who you are, we want to jump in and roll our sleeves up and help. And that's what I wanted to do to serve my clients. And I was mentally, physically at a place to actually perform better than I think I have in the history of being in business the past 16 years.
Exact. Leslie is echoing this, that you were exemplary for reinvention and going and taking your conferences online. It sounds like you had to do a big rapid pivot,
Yes.
but that pivot has been successful, right? So, all right. So I've got a question here from Chris Simmons. It says, "Okay, I hate exercise. The idea of exercise. How did you learn to enjoy how you move?"
Wow, that is an excellent question, Chris. Okay. So,
You might as well get that question from me too.
yeah, it's excellent because I love to bowl. There's this new thing out called pickleball. All of those are exercise, but my favorite thing, and I did it all through COVID, was walk. Remember, we could not go into the gyms, we could not go into places where we could, sporting events. And it's something about nature that is so calming, the smell of the grass, the trees, rather regardless of the season, because we went through all seasons in COVID, the fall leaves. And I found a park near my home, and I walked a minimum of 4 miles every day. And it kept me going. It kept, and I just enjoy. So that my enjoyment was that being outdoors in nature. So, because I'll tell you, I don't want to walk 4 miles on a treadmill. Okay, so I found something I enjoy. So think of it something that you like, whether it's golfing, playing tennis. Come, start exploring new things. I'm so excited. I'm getting ready to join a 5K run. So I want to turn my walking into running. And I definitely want to learn how to play pickleball if I can find. I heard that is the sport to do, but
Okay,
it's just a
so
matter of finding things you enjoy.
all right. So I'm going to interrupt you first. Pickleball is amazing. I started to get my addiction started in about 6 months before COVID kicked in, and then here in California, shut pickleball down. But so fun, appropriate for every age. You don't have to be a monster athlete or anything like that, but it gets you moving. It's also a social game and ridiculously fun, just ridiculously fun. And then during COVID, like you said, you find things to do, right? My wife and I started walking together a lot more. And that was a terrific thing for our marriage as well as our bodies.
Yes.
And then I got into disc golf and frisbee golf. And that's
Yes.
my other addiction. So pickleball and disc golf are the two new, well, they're not new, but they're like exploding. People are doing them like crazy now. I'm
Mhm.
a huge fan. So I love your idea. So find ways you enjoy to move, right?
Yeah, and I love hot yoga,
Oh,
so find ways that you enjoy, because what's so funny is your body starts aching them. If you shut down and say, okay, I don't have time to do it, I don't have time to do it, you're gonna like, okay, it's no way I can go another day without getting my walk in. Am I right? Don't you like say, okay, I love this now, I gotta get it in.
yeah. Yeah, we find ourselves, it'll be like 10 o'clock at night, and I look at my watch has got a little step counter on it, and I look at it and I go, I haven't had 7,000 steps today. I guess I'm time to go for a walk. And my wife will like, no, honey, it's time to go to bed. I'm like, well, I got to get my steps in,
Mhm.
So I totally understand that. Um, Turning the topic a little bit, Sheila, this is not your first book, and but I like for our authors to share with people a bit about their process. How how did you write this book? Did you sit down with a pad and piece of paper, a word processor? Did you start with a list? Did it just come all naturally out of your head, or did you really have to sit down and heavily organize? Like, what was your process? And I'm
Well,
sorry, I didn't prepare you at all for this question.
that's okay. Well, the process was I started with the acronym, Oh man, if I drink this, if I don't drink that, if there's some things that I used to drink that I would be like, okay, I'm going to kill if you take this from me. And, there are just certain things now that it made me feel, because it has so much sugar in it. So I started with and other thing, we have resources out there, anything. And I tell my daughter and anyone that I mentor, use your network and your resources. And I work with Gravitas Press, book strategists to tell me how to do this. My other books, I had book strategists, in those books. So I'm a doctor of education in a chief learning officer, doctor of education. I am not an expert in the book industry. So I went out and found those resources to tell me how to do it, what I needed to do so that I could bring something valuable to the audience. But I know that I had these ideas in my head. And the biggest idea and the biggest thing that I put onto paper was I want to start with this acronym. And then I wanted to say why I'm doing it. By me doing the drinking, the intake, the exercise, and my changing my thinking and behaviors, I did transform my life on and I look, feel, and perform better.
Fantastic. So was this book hard to write?
Well, it was not hard to write, but what was hard to do, as I said, was to manage and balance. I don't know about anyone else, but the world is flying. Everything is at a fast pace. Like, put it on brakes. Can we slow this thing down here? And it's, you got so many things going on because my business is continuing. And to me, working in a virtual environment it was tougher. It was more work than working when you're actually in in-person events. And so managing time, so it took longer. It wasn't harder to do. It just took longer to do because we had to adjust to all the things that was happening around us with COVID and trying to keep up with the pace of this new virtual workplace.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so I want to also give a shout out to Bonnie Badzowski with Gravitas Press. She's your publisher on this book,
Yes.
and I'm just so thrilled that we at Ignite Press were able to do this as partners. Just really grateful. Bonnie is fantastic. We have just so loved working with her, and the book that she created for you is absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I should bring that up again. Let me go to it. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. So there it is, Redefining Your Life Diet, and available on Amazon now, soon to be available on basically all online outlets, and really, really terrific. So
Everett, a key point. I chose the blue cover because research is proving that if you eat on a blue plate, that is something about the color blue that you eat less. You really do. So I love that blue color. And if people start eating on blue plates, scientifically, it is proven that you will eat less.
So you had told me a bit about that, and I forgot about that. So I'm really glad you brought that up. We were, for those in the listening or watching audience, we were joking around about how, gosh, would it serve restaurants better to serve meals on blue plates, because then they might have lower, food cost.
Yeah.
And but then we're in this society that is definitely about consuming more and more and more.
Yeah,
So
they want us to consume more. I guarantee you we'll be eating on white plates. But we can
yeah.
always halfen that up. That's another little trick. When you go to a restaurant, cut everything in half already and get half put in your box to go. So you'll have that later at home and eat and entertain and conversate and enjoy your guests and your environment with eating half your dinner.
Yeah, and so you see Leslie's headed out to get a blue plate. Chris wants to know what does it mean if you're serving on red plates? Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, Sheila, this has been a joy. It's been a joy to work with you, and it's been a joy to have you here on this interview. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
On your book. I would encourage everyone to pick up the copy there. And Sheila, if people want to get a hold of you, if they want to learn more about you, obviously they can get your book. How else can they reach you?
Oh, I'd love if you would reach out to me on Dr. Sheila Robinson at LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. I am also have diversitywomannetwork.com. It's a membership portal that you can join and we can engage with each other. We have free e-learning courses. We have activities. We have Thriving Thursdays, How to Survive in Your Career, and that's diversitywomannetwork.com. But otherwise, you can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. So thank you so much, Everett. It has been a joy working with both you and Bonnie, and I'm very, very grateful for your help and contributions to the success of this book thus far.
Honestly, really our honor. It's a joy to support someone who is so positive, and dynamic, and who has a message that's of such great value. I mean, it makes that a very easy decision, right? To do that. So thank you. Well, it's time for us to sign off. I do thank you all again for joining us. I would remind you, you can pick up the book on Amazon today in Kindle or in paperback, but the Kindle's 99 cents as a launch day special. Of course, if you're watching this on a recording some days later, it won't be 99 cents, so please forgive us that. But we're excited to be launching the book. Thank you so much. And Everett O'Keefe signing out for both Gravitas Press and for Ignite Press. Take care.